Everyone. Thanks for joining us today.
Awesome.
Awesome. So someone asked if other people can see the questions or chat. So there's two different ways. So in the chat box, you can ask your question. And there is an option to send it just to the panelists, which would be Andreas and I, or you can also send it to the panelists and the attendees. So if it's sent to the attendees, they can also see what you're typing. And in the question and answer feature, people can see that. They can see those. Awesome.
Awesome. So one of our favorite parts about obviously orientation and our excitement for the start of this program is for everyone to get an idea of where they're tuning in from. So if on the chat feature below, if you feel comfortable sharing where you're calling in and joining virtual launch from for day one for orientation of the program, please feel free to do so below in the chat feature. Awesome. Some folks from Georgia. So cool. Massachusetts. Very awesome. For some folks that are just on the call without maybe their parent or family, that's okay. We're going to be recording all of this information, so you'll be able to share with them at a later point in time if you're interested in sharing with them. Awesome. We have folks from all over the country. This is awesome. We'll get a little look at our geographical diversity later on today in our orientation session. But welcome, welcome. We're so excited. I hope you all are excited and ready to start your launch virtual program. Some folks from Texas, Maryland, wow, New Jersey, New York. Folks repping our hometown. Go to Worcester. I love it. Awesome. Very cool, very cool. We're climbing up there in numbers. We're probably gonna get started in the next couple minutes or so. Oh, awesome. Some returners from launch last year.
Nice.
Very cool.
That's great. You could join us virtually. It's definitely a different format this year, but we worked with faculty to really create an engaging program. So hopefully you enjoy this year as well.
Awesome. A couple of launch returners, a couple of folks that are 2 blocks away from our campus, our beautiful campus. Awesome. Very, very cool. Love to see this, and I hope wherever you're calling in from, you're experiencing some sunshine today and some good weather. And I know it might be early for you that are joining us from the West Coast. So listen, hey, we apologize for waking you up a little bit early, but we're super excited you're here. It's a great way to get up early and seize the day. We're going to chat a little bit more about launch, and hopefully you'll get excited for the program start tomorrow. But thank you for waking up early and joining us. I hope you're a coffee drinker, or you need your breakfast in the morning to get situated. Please be sure to get what you need and get excited for us to start.
Awesome. Someone just said they're taking this call from the beach. I wish I was at the beach right now as well.
I know. Honestly, beaches should have Wi-Fi. Some of them do. Not on the actual beach, but a little bit before you go on. But that'd be nice if honestly we could get some nice Wi-Fi reception right on the beach. I'd be at the beach too. Awesome. Oh, your mom had to wake you up. Well, that's what moms are for, right?
No. It's good for my mom, myself.
Awesome. We're slowly climbing up there in numbers. We're going to give some folks that maybe are late bloomers to to wake up and get on the call if they're waking up now, and we'll get started shortly. Oh, awesome. Well, Sam, you have a really nice mom. That's awesome. The world goes round, right? Awesome. Very cool. Very cool. And another thing that we're interested in seeing, besides how impactful moms are in folks' lives, is what are folks excited about? We're about to embark on an awesome journey together virtually for a week. So what's something that you're really excited about? Feel free to add that below in the chat, and we'll chat a little bit more about it. Awesome. Some folks are excited about robotics, interacting with people. We're going to talk about all of our community building aspects to the program later on. Oh, awesome. Apps for Good and robotics. Look at you. Really cool. Honestly, hey, that's good. I mean, come with an open mind, and hopefully by the end of the week, you'll be enjoying your time so much with us that you want to come back next year too. Awesome. Very cool. ECE, physics. Awesome. Really great. Well, I hope as you're seeing folks chime in the chat below, you're realizing some commonalities already with some of your fellow peers that are in the program. And we hope that you all explore those commonalities and build a sense of community with each other as you explored shared interests in our virtual events. So that's super great to see. Game design, nice. IMGDs, very cool, very cool. Physics, great. Well, in the interest of time, Ryan, are we ready to go? Do you think we can get started here today?
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, welcome everyone to Launch Virtual Orientation. My name is Andreas Armenis. My pronouns are he, him, his. I'm the Assistant Director of Pre-Collegiate Outreach Programs at Worcester Polytechnic Institute. I'm super excited to welcome you all today. I'm here with my partner in crime in all things pop-related summer programs, and that is Ryan Meadows, so I'll leave the floor for her to introduce herself.
Hi, everyone. My name is Ryan. My pronouns are she, her, hers. I'm an associate director in the Office of Pre-College Programs, and I'm very excited, looking forward to launch this year, virtual. It's fantastic to see returners. So folks that have experienced our in-person version last year, to continue staying engaged with us and exploring STEM. So welcome.
Awesome. So a little bit about today's orientation. So welcome to our first session of today's orientation. We're looking at about a 20-minute presentation. We're also gonna leave some time for you all to ask some questions because I know that you all probably have very wonderful questions and we wanna make sure we get to those. So there is a Q&A chat feature below. Some of you are using it and exploring with it, but please make sure to ask any questions that you might have in that Q&A feature right down below. We also have a chat box feature, which has been going off the hook, which is great. We're getting to learn a little bit more about you. You can also use that feature as well to ask any questions you might have regarding the program. And so those are a little bit about our Zoom housekeeping tips. At any point in time, feel free to ask any questions, and we're going to be saving some of those questions till the end of the presentation, and getting to those answers then. Again, like Ryan shared, we're super excited to welcome you. So I'm going to pass the baton over to Ryan, and Ryan's going to chat a little bit more about our welcome and orientation schedule today.
Awesome. Thanks, Andreas. So on the screen here, you see the orientation schedule for today. So Andreas and I are going to provide an introduction to the program, answer any questions that you have, and kind of give a general overview. So hopefully at the end of this, we won't be going the full hour, so you can take a break, use the restroom, get a drink of water, something like that. And then at 12 o'clock, Andreas will be leading an overview of technology and events. giving you kind of like a mini tutorial of Zoom, Canvas, answering any of those questions. And those are kind of the 2 sessions for today. So after that, orientation concludes. It's very overarching. It's kind of brief. So then you can explore kind of on your own the course material. And then at 1 o'clock, there is maybe a half an hour meet and greet for the launch robotics students with the faculty. So the faculty are gonna just give you a general overview of the program and then touch base about the software that came with your robot. Okay. Awesome. So welcome everyone from across the U.S. And the world, right? We have 2 countries here. So we have the U.S. And the U.K. So wonderful students from the U.K. And then we also have here the 13 states that are represented. So we definitely have a fantastic geographical area, right, of the U.S. Students from across the U.S. So hopefully the folks on the West Coast sign up for the afternoon sessions, so you don't have to get up so early for the 9 a.m. session. But we have a great diversity here, which is wonderful to see for everyone to interact with students from other areas, to get to know how other students, maybe what's hip over there or what's going on over there, and just to connect with people with similar interests. It's a good stepping stone to prepare for college, right? Because once you go to college, there's students from everywhere. Awesome. So the launch program is kind of split up into 2 different buckets right here. So we're just going to explain a little bit more in depth here. So we have the academics piece. So your programs are taught by WPI faculty along with the teaching assistant. And the teaching assistants could be a WPI undergrad student, a grad student, or a PhD student. Depending who is assisting that faculty member and was available this summer and kind of an expert in that area. So once you log onto your courses, kind of the folks that will be leading that is the faculty and instructors. So if for some reason you're not going to be there at a session, or you'll be late, or you have any questions about the course material, those would be sent to the faculty or the teaching assistant that can assist you. And Andreas in a few minutes will kind of share where you can get that information. And then the other piece, which is very exciting, is the community and social opportunities. So we do understand that with COVID, right now there's a lot of social distancing, and folks are not participating in the same activities that they typically would in previous summers. So we've added this component here for students to connect with peers in social events, kind of meet some folks across the US or in the UK, get some interest, and kind of have that socialization piece that everyone's wanting right now. So off to you, Andreas.
Awesome. Thank you so much. I see the chat box going off. I mean, some folks are creating connections. Maybe we have a high school combo over here. Some folks that know each other from school that are a part of launch and are connecting. And it's amazing. I love this. I love the community that's being built already over Zoom for orientation. And so that's awesome to see. So moving forward into that sort of community aspect and social opportunities, we do believe, like Ryan shared, the academic piece is obviously what brought you to launch, but we really want to complement that piece with some social and extracurricular engagement opportunities. Our hope is for you all to build community with one another throughout this week of program, and really to explore different things alongside some of our online program assistants, our student staff that are going to be helping out with launch. So sort of you see over here, we have a couple of programs ready to go for you. We have some online escape rooms, Scribble, which is Pictionary online. We have a couple Netflix parties, some game nights, whether that be Jackbox TV, Quiplash, Family Feud, or Jeopardy. And then we also have a Minecraft server that we're going to be setting up specifically to launch. I saw some folks drop some things. There's a lot of slang and like hip knowledge that's coming in the chat right now, and I feel like super old, but I'm sure it's great. And so some of you Minecrafters that are dropping some knowledge in the chat right now, you're going to be actually able to participate in a server throughout launch. So that's going to be designated to launch participants. So it's going to be an awesome time for you all to get to connect. And then one of our other exciting programs that our staff are looking to host for you all is questions for college kids, right? So some of our student staff that are current WPI undergraduate students are going to be hosting a panel to chat a little bit about what life is like at WPI for them, right? And so it's going to be an amazing opportunity for you to get to connect with them and explore some of those experiences a little bit more. And then I love the community that's being built here. I want you to take that same community to WhatsApp. So we do have a WhatsApp group created for launch participants. So you see the code there, right there. Please, please, please download WhatsApp. That's a form of communication that we're going to chat a little bit more about later on today, so I won't go into too much detail. But there is an opportunity to connect with everyone that's on here on orientation and for you to continue those conversations on WhatsApp. So there's a code right there. If you don't get to scan the code right away, don't worry. There's going to be an opportunity later on during orientation to continue to scan and join our conversations on WhatsApp. So that's a little bit big picture about what's in store for you this week, and we hope you're super excited about that. Just continuing on the communication train. So many of you probably have been onto Canvas. If you haven't already, make sure to log into Canvas. It's super important. A lot of you might have seen your specific program Canvas site, which is Canvas is basically our learning management platform. It's where all the content for your program is going to live, right? So you have one that's specific to either IMGD, robotics, right? Whatever program track that you're in. And then you're going to have another one that's actually dedicated to the extracurricular aspect of launch, and that's sort of where all the things pop related are going to live on. In there, you'll find a campus, an events calendar with all links to our programs. You'll find some resources to help complement your week-long experience with us. So please, 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 if you haven't checked out Canvas already, make sure to check it out. And I chatted a little bit about WhatsApp, but WhatsApp is going to be another form of communication that we use to communicate out regularly with you throughout this week. So please, please, please make sure to download WhatsApp if you haven't already, either on your mobile device or on your desktop. And then join our community chat, because that's where you're going to get real-time updates and live updates, as well as Canvas. And per usual, phone and email are a classic method of communication and one that we love. So please note our email down there, as well as our phone number, which are also available on our Canvas page, and you're able to drop a question or connect with us at any point in time through those avenues as well. So communication is big. Long story short, make sure that you are on these platforms and are connecting with us. And so we look forward to starting this week with you all. I'll give it back over to Ryan to talk about online safety.
Thank you. Thank you. There was a question just while we were talking about WhatsApp. Is that for PCs and Macs?
Yes, so you should be able to download the web version on your specific app store, or your computer's app store. So make sure to just search it. You can go to whatsapp.com and see if you can download the desktop client from there as well. But we'll chat a little bit more about that later on today.
Awesome. So online safety. So there's many pieces here that we were working on in preparing for launch that we just wanted to touch base on. So all of our staff, the professors, the undergraduates, the TAs, folks from our office, they all have background checks. So in Mass, I was going to say Corey check, but we all have background checks to just make sure that everyone is all set moving forward for safety for students, right, minors, because you're under 18. And so because you are under 18, just to let you know that WPI has a few added policies that our office abides by. And part of that is having no one-on-one sessions. So all of the programs, whether it's a social event or in the classroom, they're all in small group settings. So there's never a one-on-one situation, just as a preventative measure. So let's see. So for launch, you must register for workshops through a private link. So we do not broadcast the events on our website, just because we do not want any strangers or anyone not registered joining those events. So it is provided on Canvas for you to get access to that information, and only students who are enrolled in that course can access the launch programs. So for behavior, policies, conduct, all of those pieces, just like your high school or your middle school had policies in a handbook, for launch, we have a participant code of conduct. And that is something that you and or your parents or guardians had signed off on when you registered for the program. So those policies are on our website that we can send you the link. We do suggest people review them so that you know what you agreed to already, as far as behavior and policies and conduct and all of those pieces. And so WhatsApp conversations and workshops are all monitored as well. So there are staff from WPI in those groups just to make sure that everyone is respectful to each other and behaving appropriately. Next slide. Awesome. So the code of conduct and policies. So also, just to reiterate this, you've already agreed to this, so please go in and read that. It's on our website, and we can send you the link as well again. So WPI is committed to offering students a nurturing, supportive, collaborative, and positive learning environment, encouraged with active ideas, deep reflection, and sound decision making. So that's our overall goal here. And just to highlight a few pieces, so policies. So the policies are outlined there. If anyone does not abide by those policies, a conversation is going to take place with Andreas and I over Zoom. So that we're all clear about what the expectations are and why, and make sure those are being followed. Behavior. We expect that behavior is appropriate. So there should be no vulgar language, inappropriate photos, whether it's your profile photo or a virtual photo behind you. But behavior is something that just to be aware of. And if you have questions about anything, Andreas and I are always available to answer any of that. Responsibility. So that kind of plays into many things, right? But mostly within the classroom is what we were thinking here. So depending on your course and how it's structured, you may be working in teams. And so there's additional expectations and responsibility in working in a team. So just be aware that your work, whether you're doing it or not, affects your team and your team partner. So just be respectful of that, and really try to put effort into the program because other people are, and you really want to try to get as most as you can out of the experience. So WPI community. So we just wanted to mention that the WPI community is a positive, open, and respectful community. And so now that you're taking launch and you are in our community virtually, we still expect all of those same pieces to be followed as part of the WPI community. And if there's any issues with that or any questions, please feel free to follow up with Andreas and I, and we may be reaching out to folks if there are situations that occur.
Awesome. Thanks so much, Ryan. And sort of before we head into the next session, I see that a lot of the chat is blowing up, and that's awesome, right? We're sharing what kind of platforms we're on, how we can connect with one another. And I just want to specifically share for the purpose of orientation today. I love the community field. Don't get me wrong, but let's bring that same community field to the WhatsApp. So make sure to plop your questions about Minecraft or what platforms folks are on and how to connect in that WhatsApp channel. That way we can monitor questions just in case those come in a little bit better through the chat feature. But as we continue on sort of supporting your student, right? Making sure that you all have a dedicated space to really dive deep into the content that you're going to be exploring this week. It's important that you all establish a daily routine that makes sense, that really incorporates launch as a part of that daily routine. And it's really important, there's timeliness, right? So making sure that you log on 10 minutes before your session start. It's always better to be early. We have a running joke in POP, early is on time is late, and late is, well, we shouldn't be late, right? So it's important to make sure that you log on a couple minutes before. I know that sometimes being at home and being in a virtual realm, things could get distracting, right? You could be like, winning a game in Xbox and realize, oh my gosh, I should be logging on to launch right now, right? Making sure that you're there and focus is important, and that you create that environment for yourself. Finding information. So honestly, understanding that Canvas is going to be your one-stop shop for a lot of things. Please make sure to utilize that, WhatsApp or our POP office hours as a platform and a way to connect with us, right? So we shared about our forms of communication that we have open for you. There's always an opportunity to find out information. There's a lot of information that's already on your Canvas site, but there's always a chance to connect with us. So please make sure to do so in case you have a question or things pop up. And then we always want to, I love the community that's being built right now over the chat. It's honestly one of my favorite pieces of our programs. And we want to encourage participation. We want you all to be active with one another. We want you to connect on WhatsApp. We want you to take advantage of the social programs that we have to offer. Those are all an opportunity for you all to get together in a virtual space and get to connect with folks that share similar interests and want to have a fun time ultimately in a virtual realm. So please take advantage of those opportunities because they're there for you. So it's honestly, this week I feel like is going to fly by. There's going to be a lot of great points in time, and already looking forward towards the end of the week. I want you all to know that we are going to be having a closing reception at the end of the week. It's going to be at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's sort of to wrap up and showcase some of the great work that you all have done throughout your week-long program, but also showcase some of the memories that you were able to create at launch. So please make sure to save that date, and we'll be sharing the memories at the end of the program. It's going to be great. So make sure to save that date. So I finally want to open the floor back to you. I know some questions have been coming in through the Q&A feature. The chat has been popping, as the young kids would say. So if you have any questions about the information that is shared throughout this presentation, please drop those in the Q&A feature below.
Awesome. Thanks, Andreas. And as people start to ask questions, great. We look forward to answering those. I do want to go over a few pieces of information. So I see that someone did ask about communicating with your professors. So there's two ways that you can communicate. One is by emailing their WPI email address. The other way would be messaging them through Canvas. So once you log into Canvas, I believe faculty have posted their syllabus either on the syllabus tab or on the main page, and it will list their WPI email address. So you can email them there, or I believe there's a communication or a message tab in Canvas that you can message them through there if you have any specific questions. If your questions are in regards to setting up your WPI email address or the software, that's something that the pre-college staff can help you today. Later on this afternoon, we do have IT staff available to help you. But if you are looking for some help with that, the first thing would be to email our office at pop@wpi.edu, and we will get you in touch with IT there. But our goal is to have everyone set up on email and software today, so that tomorrow is kind of smooth sailing with your first session there. So again, if you're having issues with setting up your email or software or accessing Canvas, you should email pop@wpi.edu, and we'll be able to help you through there. We have some colleagues, Sue and Jesse, who are answering some of those questions for us right now.
Andreas, would you mind going back to the slide with the QR code on it, please? Thank you.
Yep. So I saw there was a question that popped in there, which is awesome. You can join the WhatsApp channel by scanning the QR code here on your mobile device. But I'm actually going to try to pull up the app. If I can, let's see, PowerPoint over here.
So you can access it here. The other thing is that when you log into Canvas, Andrea said earlier, there's 2 different sessions there. So one, it just says launch virtual. And so those are the social events. If you click into that course, there's a link there to join the WhatsApp group. And then the other course is your academic course that you'll see the title of your course there.
Awesome. And there's also going to be another opportunity when we go over technology and virtual events. I'll make sure to share out the link. So if you can't scan it on your mobile device, don't worry about that. I think someone did also share it out via Bitly, which was pretty cool. That someone created a shortened vanity link for the WhatsApp already. Wow, super quick. That's awesome. So
yes.
I know. These students are amazing. And so you can share that out there again. There it goes again. I love it. So we're also gonna chat a little bit more about WhatsApp later on. Mm-hmm. Yep. Any other questions about the content shared, events, communication, the code of conduct, sort of our online policies?
Awesome. Okay. Well, if you're all set, so it's about depending, right? So we have about a half an hour until our next session. So if you want to log onto your Canvas site, connect with WhatsApp on your mobile device, right, or on your computer, please do that. Go to the restroom, get a drink, and then we will be back here at noon for the next session with Andreas. And again, if you're having any technical challenges, email pop@wpi.edu.